So stop Botoxing your crow's feet. There are much better treatments today. I'm talking about the #1 skin oil that you can inexpensively get. I'm talking skin boosters. These are relatively new and can work well. I'll tell you the best one. Let's talk fillers. Why not fill the area? That could last a lot longer. And is it, you may be surprised, a top area for blindness or no? If you're getting Botox, I'll tell you how to dilute it to get your best treatment. I did say dilute it. Let's get started. So fix your crow's feet. That is what I was asked to talk about. People are bothered by the lines around their eyes, particularly when you smile. So why do you get them? What can you do? I know everyone wants to do Botox right away because it's instant and it does work. I'm going to talk about that briefly and why you can dilute it and tell you about what diluting is, because I know you're already scared you're going to get ripped off. Why would you dilute it there? And I'll give you some all-natural solutions, skincare and topicals as well. But I know the crow's feet bother people, and especially men. That's the driver to my practice. A man comes in, the #1 thing they're going to say is the crow's feet. For a woman, it's fine lines, it's the under eye, and it's the forehead lines. Let's dive into this. So the first thing is prevention. SPF. Find a sunscreen that works well for you, that does not sting the eyes. I have one in my line. Chemical sunscreens I find are best because they don't leave a white cast and people wear them. Don't worry about getting a sunscreen that has a lot of actives in it or rejuvenating factors in it. You want a sun blocker. #2, of course, a wide brimmed hat. You want to cover up when you can, and wearing your hair down, yes, it does help. Of course, prevention better than cure always. And now let's go to an option of an oil, a cold pressed oil. And you want to get organic. And the one you look for here is grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is built for around the eye. It does not irritate. It's packed with antioxidants. But what it does better than any other oil, and these are inexpensive, by the way. I used to say under $10 because it was. And now things have gone up. It's under $20, still relatively inexpensive because it's going to last you a long time. But grapeseed oil helps with dark circles. It gives you glow. It does many things that the under eye needs, including brightening and reducing the look of dark circles. So grapeseed oil is your go-to oil. Now let's talk mesotherapy and skin boosters. Mesotherapy means middle. Meso means middle. Therapy means therapy. So therapy in the middle layer of skin. It was invented in France in the 50s, a gentleman named Pistor. But anything that's put in the middle layer of the skin for therapy, and it was used for around the knees or in the back. You'd put anti-inflammatories, different products that decrease inflammation. When we talk about the skin, we're talking skin boosting products like amino acids, like minerals, like vitamins, like vitamin A, and also high hyaluronic acid. And that's one that's often used. And you'll know that Profilo is one that has high hyaluronic acid. These are non-cross-linked hyaluronic acids, not like fillers, which are cross-linked. Touch on that in a moment. But mesotherapy would be something used around the eye. I do like it. So that is a good solution, and I have videos on mesotherapy. You can also do it with blood draw products like PRF, platelet-rich fibrin. So if you want all natural, that exists as well. Now what about skincare? Still retinols and alpha hydroxy acids. So retinol, I like retinaldehyde the best. Alpha hydroxy acids, and often those will have beta hydroxy acids like salicylic acid in there too, but glycolics. Now they do exfoliate, but they also help thicken the dermis and they also help build collagen. So alternating your retin-A with your alpha hydroxy acid, of course you need to wear sunscreen, you need to wear sunblock or not get sun if you're using these, because they will create a little bit of inflammation once in a while because you likely will overuse them from time to time. And if you get sun damage on irritated skin, that's where you get fat loss and problems with aging of the skin from retinols and alpha hydroxy. But if you're mindful of decreasing your inflammation and you use your sunblock, you can certainly use them all year long and they work very well. Now, what about filler for the lines that cause the crow's feet? Yes, it can be used. You can get a lighter cross-linked filler to use there. And it can be used. And the risk of blindness, everyone's going to say, well, it's around the eye, so we're going to get blindness. That's not true per se. The major risk of blindness is going to be the glabella, the forehead, the nose, the temple, and then likely around the eye, in that order. But this is a rare thing. Blindness is a rare thing. But just because you're injecting around the eye, that's not where the most dangerous vessels are. They're in the aforementioned areas. So it is possible, but yes, there is a risk of blindness, a little risk of occlusion. Occlusion is very rare laterally because we have collateral flow. But it can be used, and I think in conjunction with Botox, it works better. So when I say Botox, that's botulinum toxin type A. There's Botox, Dysport, Jeuveau, xeomin in the United States, and there's hundreds around the world. When I go to Asia, you go to the conferences, there's 100 to 200 Botox-like products in the exhibit area, which is where all the companies are. You would love to be there. You'd love to go to one of those shows. There's crazy stuff from all around the world for facial rejuvenation, but yes, a lot of fillers. And a lot of Botox that we've never seen before. So if you're going to use it around the eyes, it is the #1 thing that a clinic will tell you to do when you walk in, because of course it makes some money, it's quick, so you're happy, and it's repeat business. You got to come back every 3 to 4 months. You dilute it because you want more spread of effect. So when you get your toxin, what's going to lead to spread of effect? Dose, cadence, meaning the faster I push Botox in, the more it spreads. So if you inject it a little faster, you get more spread, and dilution. Now you're still getting the same units. The study dose of Botox around the eyes is 24 units, 12 and 12. But if you dilute it down with more water, I can still give you 12 and 12. So when you hear dilution, you think you're going to be ripped off. That's not actually true. It's about how many units you get. It's a complex thing, but every vial has either 50 or 100 units, so it's a finite amount. No matter how much liquid you put in there, there's still 50 or 100 units. So diluting it for different areas, like diluting it for the forehead, works well because you get more spread of effect. Where don't you want to dilute it? You want to concentrate it where you don't want droops. So maybe around the eye, I will use a concentrated dose. So it's complex. That's why you need to see an expert. But why is it wrong to get Botox for crow's feet? Why is it that I don't recommend you do that? Well, I don't recommend you do only that. You'll be sorry, because one day you'll wake up, it will not work. Not because you become resistant to the Botox, but because you now have no collagen, because you didn't use your grapeseed oil, your alpha hydroxy, your retinoids, your SPF, your sunglasses, your sunblock, and a little tiny movement when you have no collagen is a lot of wrinkles. Let me say it again. Without collagen, it's just like a loose paper bag that's really thin, and you move it like maybe 20% of the muscle movement, and boom, you flash all the lines. Right now, if you're young or this area looks good, you can move 80% and you still don't have a line. I have almost no Botox or Botox-like products in my whole face. I have full movement, but I want to build my collagen. Every once in a while, once a year, I'll get my Botox, but I'm not a big fan of that. Now, you're going to want to watch this video on Botox resistance and the one down here on how to make your own eye cream formula at home. Keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.